Hi, welcome to Chanel's world. In my world, I have a little bit of something for everyone. So if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, I thank you so much. It is always good to see familiar faces. Okay, you see what my background, so you know what this episode is. This is In the Kitchen with me, myself, and I, Chanel. And on this episode, I'm going to teach you how to make my easy collard greens. That's right, we're going collard greens today. So I already have my big bag of collard greens. I have my pot ready, and I have my meat. You can use the meat of your choice, but today we are going to be using I think I got smoked turkey necks. Yep, we're going to be using smoked turkey necks. So the first thing I'm going to do is, that's right, I'm going to wash my meat, okay? I'm going to wash my meat and I'm going to put it in my pot. Now, I'm only going to fill the pot up just a little bit with water, and you'll see why. But I want to get the meat on first just so it's nice and tender by the time I'm ready to add in my greens. So if you're ready, sit back. Let's jump right into this video. Okay, so I've washed my meat, and as you can see, I just put it in the pan here. And some of my meat, I did go ahead and chop up. You don't have, you can use the meat of your choice, or you don't even have to use meat. But I'm using the turkey meat because it's going to give the collard greens flavor. So I'm going to add my water in now. And I'm using such a big pot because I have a lot of greens. So I just want to make sure they fit all at one time. But I'm not going to fill the pot all the way up with water. I'm going to show you guys just about almost done. Because there's a secret to not just using water to give it a little more flavor, okay? Alright, I'm going to fill it up just to this line. Almost out of there. Okay, so I just want to show you guys that's about how much water I put in, if you guys can see. You can't really see. But, so I fill the water to here, to this line right here. Right there, okay? That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take this and put it on the stove and let it start to boil. I want all my meat to get a little tender. Okay, so I have my greens here. I sanitized my counter because I'm going to use my countertop. So collard greens come like this. Because I had so many, I cheated and I already did some of them. But I just want to show you guys how I do mine. You don't have to cut the stem off if you don't want to, but I don't like the stem, so I'll take either my small little knife or my big knife, and I'll just kind of go along the seam. I'm going to show you what I mean. So you see this part here? I don't want to use this thick part, so I just fold it over, and usually I'll take the smaller knife and just cut right along, and then cut right in the middle. See that? I stop right there where the seam starts to get small, and it comes right off. And so then this is how it looks, okay? So this is how I do all of them. I'll do one more to show you guys. So see, this one is not that big, so I don't have to go that far, okay? So I'll just take the knife, shimmy it right down the side. Now that is small right there, that's where I'll stop, chop, and there we have it. Okay, so that's how I take care of my leaf part. And then I'm going to put these in the sink because they need to be washed. You have to wash these thoroughly, okay? They're, see, like this one doesn't have one, so you don't have to worry about cutting along that edge like that. Because this, if you cook it, it'll get tender, okay? So you don't have to worry about that one. but I'm going to go through. This one has a smaller one. It's kind of thick here. That's the part I don't want. So I'm just going to go along the seam. And like I said, you don't have to do this, but I don't like big stems in my greens. So have it like that, okay? I'm going to finish this last little bunch, and then I'm going to show you the next step, which is all in the bathtub. We're going to give them a good wash, and then I'm going to show you guys how I cut them, and that I'm going to throw them in the pot because the meat can finish cooking with the greens. I just wanted to give the meat a head start, okay? Let's get right into this video. Okay, so I have finished cutting all my greens to my liking. I've sanitized my sink, so it's all ready. So what I do is I take maybe 3, depending on how big they are. These are kind of big. So I take, okay, we're going to take 2. I'm going to take 2 leaves. I'm going to fold them over, kind of roll them. I'm going to take my larger knife, and I'm just going to slice them like ribbons. You can cut yours, or you can leave them whole. I like to slice them like ribbons. So they'll look like this. And you can even go across this one more time if you like. If you have a lot, like I do. Okay? And then these are ready to go over in the sanitized sink. Okay? I just do a couple more. I'm trying to show you guys like some smaller ones, but this last batch, they are humongous. Okay, so I have quite a few done. So see what I take them. I just give them a roll. You guys see that? I give them a roll. So I give them a roll, and then can you see that? And I just slice. Grab them and put them in the sanitized sink. So as you can see, I have a whole bag of these, so I'm going to catch up, and then once I rinse these, I'll tap you guys back in because I can already hear the meat boiling, so they're ready to go in the stove. So I need to catch up. Well, they need to go on the oven, I'm sorry. So I'm ready to catch up. Okay, so I wanted you guys to see how it looks without me adding any more water to it. And what I did was I took the meat that was at the bottom. You want to bring it to the top, okay? So you just want to go all the way from the bottom as carefully as you can and kind of bring your meat to blend in. So you want to give your greens a good stir while the water is hot. Now I'm not going to add, I'm going to add 1 more cup of water, and then I'm going to put this down. So then I want to show you guys what we're going to add in next. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add is my secret ingredients, and that is chicken broth. Okay, so I'm going to give it a good shake. And you can eyeball this, or you can add in as much as you like. I have a lot of greens in there, so I'm going to actually use, this is 2 pounds, or I'm actually going to use probably the entire thing. Go ahead and squeeze all this in there. Can you guys see that? So, squeeze out all of that. Now what I'm going to do is give it a very good stir because I want to get everything well incorporated, okay? You don't want to put too much liquid in your greens because that erases the flavor, okay? So you want to get it just right. So I'm actually going to let this cook a little bit, but now I want to put out my seasonings. You can use the seasonings of your choice, but I'm going to share with you what I add in my greens to give it a little kick. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but on the cover, you saw jalapeno peppers. But I don't use really hot ones, I use mild ones. And I use the mild ones just to give it a kick and a little flavor. Adds a lot of flavor to it, just a handful of the mild. Now if you're looking for something that's spicy, And by all means, you can use the hot ones, but I don't want that. I just want it to give it flavor. Okay, so I've chopped all of chopped. I'm thinking about the peppers. I've stirred all of this, and now my meat is all throughout the greens. I have my eye, if you guys are wondering, it's like on six and a half to 7. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on, and I'm gonna grab my seasonings because I'm gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes, kind of marinate together. And then I'm going to pull up my seasonings, and I'm going to add my seasonings. That's it. I'm not going to add any more broth or any more liquids. I'm going to go ahead and actually get ready to prepare the rest of the meal that goes along with this. Okay? But I'm just showing you guys how to make the collard greens. Okay? Alright, so the next secret ingredient, it's time for me to add my seasonings. So I use this chicken bouillon. Okay? So I'm going to take 1 cube. You can break it up or you can leave it whole. I like to kind of just break mine up a little bit. Throw that in. And I'm going to give it a good twirl. Let that mix in. Now, you can cook your greens to the consistency of what you like. Some people like it a little tender than others. So that's all up to you, okay? Now the next ingredient, I'm going to show you guys exactly what it is. And it's this. These are the jalapeno peppers, mild. Because I have a lot in here, I actually used about 3 handfuls. But I chopped them up very small because the key is you want the flavor, but you don't want to have to necessarily see everything that's in it. You're looking for the taste. Okay? So I'm going to give that a good stir. Now I'm going to add in a little smoked paprika for flavor. The smokiness with the chicken broth and the chicken bouillon really stands out. And then I'm going to use a little bit of seasoning salt. You don't want to use too much because you have the turkey meat in there. So that's going to give it flavor too. So you just want a little bit, okay? And then you're going to give that a good stir all the way around. I'm going to show you guys what exactly, this is how it's looking. You guys see that? Okay, so that's what it's looking like. Everybody's all in the pot. And now I'm just going to set a timer. And I'm going to let this cook until, I'm going to give it maybe, I say maybe 35 more minutes, and then I'm going to check back on it and see how tender they are. But that's it that I'm going to add to it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nice and simple, but delicious. I'm actually going to, what's greens without cornbread? Now, I don't know if I'm going to make this cornbread or if I'm going to make my famous cornbread roll. So, the cornbread is on the menu at some point. All right, so that's what's up next. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. And what I did was I took a couple out because you got to taste it, okay? Don't be afraid to taste your food. From the flavor standpoint, it's excellent. But I would like them to be a little more tender. So I'm just going to let them continue to cook. Other than that, did I offer you some? They sure taste good. So they're tender, but I want them to be a little more tender. So I'm just going to cook them for maybe another 15-20 minutes or so. They should be good and tender and ready to eat. All right, so this is the finished product. These are my collard greens with smoked turkey neck. I also made homemade chicken and dumpling. What? You gotta stick around for that video. As always, I thank you for watching. Until next time, be good to yourselves. Love yourselves. And then go and love someone else. Until the next time, I wish you all peace and blessings. I thank you for watching. You know what I'm going to say now. Bye!